Good afternoon นะครับ everyone. How are you today ครับ Are you good? I hope that everyone is fine today นะครับ Rise and shine. Okay. So today นะครับ let's continue talking about the introduction to the interaction design and system analysis and design. On the last class, we talked about the information system components นะครับ We talk about information system component in here. You can see that when we talk about the information system นะครับ information system is not just a program นะครับ It's not just one program anymore. It is the series or collection of programs นะครับ or applications that work together to serve the purpose of the organization. So in order to have the information system นะครับ you need to have hardware นะครับ software data process นะครับ and people. For example, if we are talking about Sky Plus นะครับ or Sky system, they are information system นะครับ so that means if somebody just copy Sky Plus นะครับ to their company นะครับ without the process, it's useless for them นะครับ or when we talk about OSS system, that was like just like very old days information system of MUIC, and it is our legacy system. It was a legacy system as well, because right now they just like they terminate that system already. Nobody use it, so that information system is not completed anymore. So some of you asked me in the last class that, okay, can we access to the OSS, or can we use the OSS? I can tell you that you cannot use it anymore because of what? If I just like restart OSS server นะครับ firstly, even though you have like the user ID, for example, if I give you the user ID and password, you cannot do anything because you don't have your student ID and information inside that OSS anymore. You don't have the information of the classroom because OSS system was terminated before Atityathon building was constructed. So that means if we have the class on Atityathon building, it cannot be used in OSS system. And also the courses in OSS was just like from the very old curriculum. It is not matching you anymore, something like that. So that's why in order to have the complete information system, you need to have the component like this นะครับ for the people นะครับ when we talk about the people in the information system, there are like two group of people นะครับ related to information system component. The major group of people are users or end users นะครับ so users are or end users are people who directly use that information system, while the stakeholders นะครับ are the people who can just like indirectly use some information from that information system นะครับ let me just give you an example ครับ if you have an information system for a company that support the sales system นะครับ for sure users will be the salesperson นะครับ users might be like the warehouse officers, might be the suppliers, might be the customer นะครับ hang on, customer do not use information system component directly if นะครับ the system is not I mean the business is not e-commerce. So that means the customer is the stakeholder only. They are not users. Okay, because when the salespeople นะครับ just like record the sales, for example, if you go to 7-Eleven นะครับ you are the stakeholder of the 7-Eleven information system only, because you never just like use the system by yourself. The one who use the system is like the cashier, that they scan the product that you would like to buy, and the things that you have to do is that pay the money, receive the change and the receipts back นะครับ that is the stakeholder. At the end of the year, 7-Eleven has to pay the tax to the taxation office นะครับ the taxation officers are stakeholders because they don't use this information system straight away. They just use the report that 7-Eleven prints and then or they may just like save it as a PDF file and then send it through the email to the taxation officer นะครับ so that's why the stakeholders and users are different because users are people who are directly related to or who are directly using the system นะครับ while the stakeholders are just the people who just like use the information generated from the system only, might be in terms of reports, might be in terms of just like PDF file, something like that. Okay, now today we're going to talk about the next part that is about the business. So as I told you on the last class that if you would like to be the one who can just like design and implement information system, we call that role as the system analyst. System analyst has to know not only computer science knowledge, but you need to have or you need to understand the business as well. So my suggestion everyone, if you have time or if you have a chance to register for some iDesign course, business courses are important for you as well. So just like have a look on what business course that it should just like be useful for you and then choose for it. Or I mean like if you would like to ask me for the suggestion, feel free to ask because from now on, I mean actually for my advisee, you have my line ID anyway, but for anyone who are not my advisees, you are my students anyway, we know each other, and then you also have just like my line ID from this course as well. You can just like ask me here, because if you just like ask me in here, it's directly. But if you just like ask on Discord, sometimes I just like rarely check on Discord message because I don't know whether you just like want to talk to me or not. Okay, so I can just like suggest you what course that is interesting and useful for you if you just like want to just like gear yourself to just like being this kind of just like occupation. Okay, now let's see. When we would like to understand the business, there are a couple of terms that you have to just like know as a fundamental knowledge. The first one, we talk about the business process modeling. The business process modeling is that, okay, how do you gonna just like change the way that the business run, we call it as business process, right? How do you gonna just like change them into the graphical format? I mean, like, for example, you use some diagrams to simulate the business process, to show the business process in the paper, in the diagram, instead of having the narrative. Some people just use the narration in order to just like describe the business process. But if you just like describe them in words, it is just like quite difficult to understand because some of the business process, they have the interconnectivity that you just like should use the diagram to help. Showing that those business processes. So understanding the modeling for the business process is one of the important things as well, because when you just like get the requirement from your users, normally users are from the business side. When you just like have to communicate with them, one thing that you have to do is that you have to just like prepare the diagram or the model for the business process and show it to them to let them confirm that you understand is correct or not. This is the thing that we have to do. Business profile. This one, when you just like have to know that, okay, what is business doing and how can we just like involve by having or developing the information system for them. You have to just like know how to read that business profile, and in the near future you yourself as well has to prepare your own business profile so that your customer will pick you as just like the developing team or the consultant in order to develop the information system for them. For the business model, we have like couple of terms that you should knowนะครับ basically that are business model. How do you gonna just like run the business? How does the company run the business? We call it as business model. How can the company นะครับ earn their revenue นะครับ that is a kind of the explanation for business model. For example, suppose we say that okay, this company นะครับ let's see which company that I just like give you an example. If we are talking about agoda.com, you can see that for agoda.com, the business model, they have like two sides. One side, Agoda has to contact hotels นะครับ or resorts นะครับ for what to say, buy the space นะครับ from those resorts or hotels. For example, if the hotel said that, okay, let's say for example, Ibis Hotel, they have like 2 or 3 different types of rooms. Let's say if we said that, okay, today is 12th of January นะครับ Agoda will say that, okay, on 12th of Jan นะครับ this is not the high season anymore because it's after New Year already นะครับ for the room นะครับ that Ibis Hotel is available, they have twin rooms, let's say twin rooms, deluxe room นะครับ and suite นะครับ let's say if they have three type of rooms. So on the 12th of January, what type of room and how many rooms per each type that Ibis are available. They sell this space to Agoda. For example, Agoda may say that, okay, I will pay you, let's say 500,000 baht นะครับ but I want 20 rooms นะครับ 3 rooms for each 3 rooms for suite, 3 rooms for suite นะครับ 5 room for deluxe, and the rest I want for the twin rooms. Okay, I mean like if you buy if you just like walk into Ibis, in order to just like book this room for 12th of January, you may have to pay, let's say 1.2 million baht. So but Agoda just buy it for 500,000 baht only. Then Agoda will just like allocate this room into their system and let their customer to buy the room, to book the room นะครับ to book this hotel room, and then they just like make the profit by themselves. This is the business model for Agoda ครับ and another way, Agoda also just like use their website นะครับ as the, I mean normally they allow the customer to book the rooms, right? But some of the rooms Agoda buy directly from the hotel นะครับ like I told you before. But some rooms Agoda just like let the hotel นะครับ to just inform them that, okay, what kind of room do you have? Then the hotel has to pay Agoda if there's some transaction from the customer who booked the room of that hotel with Agoda. If it is not the space that Agoda buy out from the hotel already นะครับ so Agoda will receive the what to say, commission from selling the room to the customer in this case. Karan asked me that so the customer can book the room from other service that Agoda bought. Cannot ครับ Karan, because Agoda buy that slot already, so it belongs to Agoda. For example, if we say that room A123 Agoda bought already, so that means the customer when they book, they don't see room 123 anymore. Doesn't matter whether they go to hotels.com or wherever.com, because they have the owner of the room, that is Agoda นะครับ Agoda will allocate the room for the customer by themselves. Okay, so this is business model that you have to just like interpret when the users tell you that, okay, our company run this and this. Normally the thing that you can do is that, okay, firstly you think about the business model first. What does this business do in order to earn the revenue นะครับ how do they get the profit from this? Okay, after that the next thing is business process. In their business, what are the business processes that they have? For example, from Agoda case, I said that, okay, the business process is that buying the room นะครับ that is one business process. Next business process might be just like renting out the room นะครับ it might be just like or just like being the third party นะครับ or third party process to get the room นะครับ that it might be the business process and another business process might be room selling นะครับ or room booking those are business process นะครับ it is not just one task นะครับ but it's group of tasks that are related to each other you can see that to buy the room นะครับ Agoda has to just like need many processes for example contact the hotel negotiate the price something like that those are just like the tasks in the business process that to buy the room from the hotel something like that นะครับ so you should be able to interpret นะครับ what are business process of this company and which one that is related to our work นะครับ and the next one is business process re-engineering this term is just important as well because some of the company they have that system already for example we had Sky system why do we need to have Sky Plus because we need something to be re-engineered we need some tasks or we need some processes to be streamlined for example in the past if you had to register for courses in a term the things you had to do is that you had to talk to your advisor first right and after that when the advisor said okay this list of courses are okay then you can register for it and then the advisor will approve for it this one it takes some time but you can see that in Sky Plus they streamline this registration process when they say that okay from Monday to Wednesday it will be your registration day you can choose any course you want as long as the course doesn't have the conflict of the examination time as long as you pass the prerequisite course already นะครับ so this is what we call business process re-engineering นะครับ let me give you an example for the business process re-engineering in Thailand that they just like firstly implemented long time ago when I was young นะครับ when I had to go to the bank the way that we had to do was that let's say if I went to the bank and the bank had let's say 5 counters the way to do is that if I want to deposit the money I had to see which line is the shortest and then I just like be in the queue sometimes I had to wait for an hour before I got served if I feel just like oh my legs are so tired I want to sit if I sit somebody just like go to the queue instead this was in the past when the times goes by okay a bank นะครับ at that time it was K-Bank they thought that okay they should do something that can serve the customer faster they try to re-engineer the front office process so they had to hire the professor from Harvard to just like see the business model and business process and help redefining some processes to make the customer to get more satisfaction they said that okay we should implement the queuing system the queuing system at that time started from just like the sign นะครับ electronic sign that you could get the queue electronically they printed out the receipt for you that okay what is your queue number you can go anywhere while the queue is not called yet so also you can sit นะครับ on the couch as well and wait until your queue is called so that means people are more happy because they don't need to be in the bank for an hour or more นะครับ and all the counters นะครับ they work equally because the queuing system try to balance the customer to every single counter so people were happy about this process re-engineering a lot นะครับ but some banks they couldn't afford having this kind of system the way that they just like try to adapt from this re-engineering was that they had just like they print out the ticketนะครับ, and then laminate it. After that, they just like put it in the box in front of the bank counter that you just in front, so not the bank counter, the receipt or the document counter that you had to fill up the form. Then you just like pick up one number. After that, the counter นะครับ the I mean the we call them as teller นะครับ will call the number. If you are in that number, you just like go to present that number to them, and then you can just like do your transaction. This one is okay. That's not too bad, but it makes the teller to be a bit confused, because if there are like many counters, how do you know that the queue is running to what number? This is business process re-engineering. While you are redesigning the information system, you can, some of you may just like re-engineer some business process at the same time. So this one, that are the things that you should know. Next one, we talk about the new kind of companies that they can have like production oriented, that they produce the goods, service oriented, that they usually provide just the services as a major product of the company. Internet dependent, some company that just like have to just like use also the internet in order to just like run their businesses. For example, right now you can see that some of like the e-commerce, they may have like some social commerce that rely on Facebook or Instagram, something like that, to sell the products. .com, that is just like pure company, that is running on the internet only. For example, if we are talking about eBay, that is the .com. Alibaba or AliExpress, they are .com business, that they don't have like the physical companies to just like sell the products or services. If you just like go to search from the internet, you might see that AliExpress or Alibaba, they have like some shops as well, physical shop or physical store, but that one is just a showcase. They don't intend to sell everything from that physical store. And the last one is brick and mortar. Brick and mortar is just like the traditional kind of business that they have just the store only. They don't have the online store of themselves. Okay. Right, these are just like the kind of the company that they try to classify them into the group like this. Next thing, when the internet era comes, the impact of the internet. We have e-commerce or i-commerce, that people can buy and sell the stuff from the internet. B2C, business to consumer, that the the company can sell the product directly to cut off their third party. For example, in the past, if you had to buy an airline ticket, you had to go to the travel agency and buy the ticket from there. But currently, no need. You can just like go to the airline website directly and buy from the airline website. Okay. B2b, business to business. In the past, when the company would like to buy the product from another company, they may have to send an email to order. But right now, no need. We have just like the system that is the pure B2B system, that one company can sell or buy the products from another company by using the information system to help. We have EDI, electronic data interchange, the standard like XML, instead of having just like the old standard like in the old days did. Supply chain management and supplier relationship management. I'll talk about them in the next chapters when we talk about this kind of concept. Next on, for the business information system, we found that in the past, the IT managers divided system into categories based on users group that the system serve. So we had office system. Office system are like the productivity software like Microsoft Office, Pages, PowerPoint, Excel, something like that. Operational systems, not the OS. Operational system means the system that they use in the production line. For example, if we would like to plan for producing the goods นะครับ 1,000 pieces today so the system like the operational system will just break the ingredients or break the components in order to be produced 1,000 items today. For example, if we say that okay, our company produce cake, so the operational system will just like break up the components นะครับ in order to produce cake that okay, we need to have like 1 ton of wheat flour. We need to have like 800 kilograms of sugar, 20 kilograms of salt, 1,000 eggs, and so on, something like that. This is operational system. It will break down all the things that we need to have. Decision support systems are the system that help the decision maker to make a decision. For example, if some company would like to know that okay, from the sales of the previous year นะครับ next year should we just like have new branches of the company or not นะครับ or where should be the new office. For example, we say that okay, we have a couple of choices. The first one, we still rent a space in the center area, in the business area in Bangkok, for example, in Chitlom, or we just like build our own office in Salaya by having our own piece of land. Okay, this is decision support system. We have like quantitative data to support. And the last one, executive information system. These are the systems for the executive to view the whole, the overall data of the company. For example, suppose the salesperson just like sell the products. The executive might not want to know that okay, for today, how many items of pencil that we can sell, how many what to say liquid paper that we can sell. But the executive may want to know that okay, the stationery group of products, okay, how much can we sell in December 2021, or how much of the revenue we earn from stationery product in the year 2021. So this is just like they just like group and then just like let the executive to see what they want to see นะครับ not the detailed information. The next one นะครับ we said that today we identify the system by functions and features rather than by the users. So instead of having office system, operational system, and so on, we have enterprise computing system, transaction processing system, business support system, knowledge management system, and user productivity system. These are just like system by its function and its feature นะครับ so that means more than one group of person or more than one group of users can use the same system. For example, enterprise computing system might be used like the enterprise-wide from executive, salespeople, human resource people, accountants. They can also use like this enterprise computing system. Transaction processing system, we mean the system that can just like do every day-to-day basis นะครับ the small tasks. I'll talk about it next on, and for others information system as well. Next นะครับ when we talk about enterprise computing system, in this one, as I told you earlier, it supports company-wide operations and data management requirements. So in this one, almost everybody in the company นะครับ can use like this kind of system นะครับ also we may call the enterprise computing system as enterprise resource planning นะครับ so the example of the enterprise resource planning are just like SAP that we plan for everything including money that you have got นะครับ assets that you have นะครับ human resource that you have got นะครับ plan for production, plan for sales นะครับ sales forecasting, something like that. Everything can be just like in the same system นะครับ so but anyway when you have to just like install this kind of system นะครับ it's the enterprise wide so that means this system is like quite big นะครับ so right now because most of the company or most of the organization found that it is useful นะครับ to have the enterprise resource planning software in their organization that's why many of the hardware and software vendors they target their products นะครับ and their customer นะครับ to the enterprise computing market นะครับ for example นะครับ they may say that okay if you're talking about HP นะครับ you can see that HP when we talk about HP in terms of just like PC you can see that HP cannot compete with other brands like Lenovo or Dell or Apple but actually HP just like focusing in the enterprise computing market they sell servers more than just like other companies นะครับ and also they say that okay this series of the servers is designed to work well with SAP to work well with cloud computing something like that so that's why they try to target the enterprise computing market นะครับ next for the transaction processing system this kind of system involve like lots of data นะครับ and this one is mission critical system so that means when you design a transaction processing system it's just for a specific purpose only for example if I say that I want to just build the ATM system นะครับ the ATM automatic teller machine นะครับ the data in the ATM machine normally when someone withdraw the money it records what you withdraw and how much you withdraw and who withdraw this is transaction นะครับ one transaction so that means you can see that in one ATM machine there are thousands of people who use that ATM machine to withdraw the money or to just like deposit the money so how many machines are there in Thailand it might be like hundreds of thousands of that ATM machine of a bank นะครับ so this one นะครับ it involves large amount of data and mission critical system because this transaction processing system just serve the way that people deposit or withdraw the money only นะครับ this one is efficient because they process a set of transaction related commands as a group rather than individually so that means it's just like when anyone or any users of ATM just withdraw the money or deposit the money they record all of this transaction in the system นะครับ okay the next one business support system this kind of system provide job related information นะครับ to users at all level of the company for example MIS นะครับ for MIS a management information system it helps summarizing the work that transaction processing system did นะครับ so that it comes in terms of the report so that the people นะครับ in the company in different levels can use those reports นะครับ according to what setup of the management of information system be นะครับ we may use radio frequency identification or RFID and what if analysis นะครับ for the business support system นะครับ when customer come to buy any products you may have the RFID tag in order to just like instead of scan the barcode you can just like move that product past the conveying belt นะครับ and then you have the RFID scanner นะครับ in order to scan the price of the product and check for security as well นะครับ okay next for knowledge management system in this one we call it as expert system นะครับ the knowledge management system try to simulate the human reasoning นะครับ by just combine the knowledge base that the company got and inference rules นะครับ to just like giving some ideas or for some suggestion นะครับ many of knowledge management system use a technique called fuzzy logic นะครับ after that we have user productivity system like the technology that improve productivity or groupware นะครับ for example when we talk about like the calendar that one is groupware as well Google Calendar. When you enter anything in your calendar and you share to other people, they can see like whether you are available or not. And also for example in the science division in MUSC, all the ajahns just put our calendar in the Google Calendar of division. So that means the secretary can compile all of them and see that okay, which day and what time slot that all ajahns are available, so that they can set the meeting date and time, something like that. This is groupware to increase the productivity. And information system integration. Most of the large company require system that can combine transaction processing, business support, knowledge management, and user productivity features together. When we talk about the level of the users, let me just like talk about this pyramid first, this cone. In the past, when it was like 2D, we call it as a pyramid shape. Okay, let's just one below. Okay. We had triangle like this, and we separate people in the company to be in 4 levels. The top level is top manager. Next one is middle manager or middle management. Sometimes we call this group as knowledge workers. The second one, this is 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, you have top management, middle management. This one, level number 3, is called how to say low level management, or sometimes we if we use the word low level management, it is not just like quite nice word, then we change it to be just like supervisors and team leaders instead. And lastly, lowest level is the operational employees. The employees in the production line, something like that, they are in this level. So the pyramid here tell us the proportion of number of people in the company. Operational employees is the maximum ratio of proportion in this pyramid. Most of the people, most of the people in the company, they are operational employees, while top manager is the smallest proportion. Okay, middle and supervisor, it depends on the policy of the company. Okay, so in this one, you can see that instead of presenting it as just a 2-dimensional pyramid, they make it as a 3D. You can see that there are just like the separation in each level as well. If we just like have the conic section for this pyramid, every level will consist of different departments. So in this example, assume that a company has like 6 functions. Marketing, production, IT, sales, accounting, and HR. Every level has just like the same functions like this as well. But it the level of tasks are different. It depends on the company. So these are just like the business function that we have in each level of people. Next. Whenever we would like to develop any information system, let's talk about the system development tools. In terms of modeling, we can just like have the modeling for business model, requirements model, data model, object model, network model, and process model. So it means that this kind of thing should be modeling, and I just like separate them into these different modeling. After that, we also have prototyping as well. The prototyping, the prototype is just like the small version of your information system. This kind of the prototype นะครับ this kind of thing speeds up the development process significantly because you see how the system should be already ครับ important decisions might be made too early before the business or IT issues are thoroughly understood นะครับ so let's think about the car นะครับ the car when before the car is built they need to have the car prototype first. The very first type of the prototype might be just like they use the sticky tape to put the car model on the wall first. After that, they just carve the clay or the wood to become the second prototype to test for the what to say when the wind just like blow past this kind of car prototyping, something like that. Test about the friction, something like that. Okay, so important decision might be made too early before the business or IT issue are thoroughly understood because you see the prototype already. You know that okay, this one is suitable or this one you should just like change this or change that, something like that. And also prototype can be extremely valuable too นะครับ some of the company they need to have the prototype นะครับ and then the prototype that they want นะครับ some of the company has the operational prototype or functional prototype that when the prototype is confirmed by the users already they can use that one. They don't need to have any development further for that module, let's say. The way in order to just like have the fully functional information system is that they just integrate those prototypes together, just that นะครับ they just fine tune. The next one, we also have the CAD, we also have the case 2 นะครับ or what we call as computer aided system engineering tools นะครับ the case 2 นะครับ sometimes we call it as computer aided software engineering นะครับ case 2 we just like can draw the diagram and also can generate the program code นะครับ which helps speeding up the implementation process. Some of the part นะครับ of the program when you draw it as a diagram already นะครับ you just provide like variable names นะครับ and the specification and the logic นะครับ like a pseudocode in that case tools. Then when you generate นะครับ you can just like choose what programming language that you want to have and then you can just like let case 2 to generate the program code for you straight away. The next thing that we have to know about the system development method is structured analysis. The structured analysis here that we have to learn and we have to know is what we call system development lifecycle or SDLC. This kind of structure analysis นะครับ is a predictive approach. Then that means you just like know what will we get in the next step. And if there's some problem, we know when do we have to go back or where do we have to go back นะครับ in the previous stage that I'll talk about in next on. For the SDLC, use set of process models to describe system graphically นะครับ. And this system, this SDLC is a process-centered technique. We may call it as waterfall model นะครับ On the right-hand side here, it shows the example of the diagram นะครับ that show about the process that happen นะครับ in this information system นะครับ like for example in here we found that student นะครับ and the course data will be used for register and the registration data will be sent as a class rosters, something like this นะครับ we will learn in this one in detail. Next นะครับ for the structured method นะครับ structured analysis นะครับ it is deliverable. I mean the end product we may call it as deliverable นะครับ the same thing ครับ but anyway when we have the structured analysis นะครับ disadvantage in the built-in structure of the SDLC นะครับ because when we have the waterfall model it does not emphasize the interactivity among the phases นะครับ this is just like the problem that somebody may just like just choose another way in order to do analysis and design tasks instead นะครับ the criticism can be valid if SDLC process are followed too rigidly นะครับ and adjacent phases usually interact to each other นะครับ sometimes นะครับ we may not just like show the strong interactivity among the phases in here. Okay, but if you design it properly, it shows everything anyway ครับ next we talk about the structured analysis. Now we are still in the structured analysis. When we talk about this, the SDLC, System Development Lifecycle Model, this model usually includes 5 steps altogether: system planning, system analysis, system design, systems implementation, system support, and security. We will learn every step in detail so that we can just like do the analysis and design tasks for the information system properly. Next on when we talk about system planning, the first task the first step in SDLC model, system planning we call it as system planning phase. In this phase we have to do system request. System request begin, it's the thing, this is the time that we begin the process and describe problem or desired changes. The term that we use right now, we may call it as pain point of the old system. This is where we just like go through the system requests. When we get the pain point, the users will try to explain that, okay, what is the current process and what's the problem. Then the purpose of this phase is to perform a preliminary investigation. Preliminary investigation is that you may just like would like to go and observe the company and then see what's going on and what's the problem of that current system. We say that key part of preliminary investigation is feasibility study. We will do the feasibility study to just like see that whether it's worth enough in order to have this information system or not. Next, the next phase is what we call system analysis. For the system analysis, we will just like analyze the system requirement that we obtained from the previous stage. And the deliverable of this system is system requirements document. System requirement documents. System requirement document will be used in the next phase, that is system design. Because we will use a system requirement to help designing the system that we are going to build. Deliverable of the system design is the system design specification. It tells us that, okay, what development tools that we need to have, what variables that we need to have, how to name them, what are the logic or algorithm of your information system in this process, something like that. And management and users involvement is critical in system design because they will be the one who use or they will be the one who sign off this project when you just like have the complete information system for them. So that's why you should have that involvement to support your information system development. Next, we talk about the system implementation. New system is constructed. This part is for developer to code the programs for the system implementation. After the system is implemented already, we need to have the system testing as well. When the system is tested, we have various kind of tests that I'll talk about in the future. When we finish testing already, the next step after testing is to just like install and then start using the information system. When you do it already, when the time goes by, the next task, that is the last task of the information of system development lifecycle, is system support and security. This task or this phase, we say that a well-designed system must be secure, reliable, maintainable, and scalable. And when you have been using the system for a while, most of the information system need to be updated significantly or replaced after several years of operation. You cannot use one system forever. You have to change it when the time goes by. For example, if we are talking about your smartphone, if you would like to use your smartphone, when the time goes by, you have to update the OS. And you can just like keep updating the OS until the owner, I mean the manufacturer of that hardware, of that smartphone, does not support your model anymore. Then you have to use the last version, and then you cannot update anything anymore. The thing that people normally do is that they change the smartphone to be a new one instead. And we said that, okay, when you just like use the system for a long time, we might find that the system has some drawback because users have pain point. Then they may need to have a newer information system. Then it starts the next cycle of system development life cycle. And then we do the same thing until we just like have been using it for a while. So after we have this one already, the next idea, rather than using system development life cycle, users may use object-oriented analysis instead. For the object-oriented analysis, this one will combine the data and processes that act on the data into things called object. Object is a member of a class. Object possess properties. Method change and object properties. In this one, I'll explain in detail when we reach the part of object-oriented analysis. When we get this one already, for object-oriented analysis, a message requests specific behavior or information from another object. For OO analysis, it usually follows series of analysis and design phases that are similar to SDLC. And this one is the interactive model. So apart from object-oriented analysis, another system development method is the Agile methods that many companies have been using nowadays. For Agile method, these are the newest developments, and it emphasizes continuous feedback from everyone in the team, and it has iterative development. Keep go on doing it in the cycle repeatedly. Agile community has published the Agile Manifesto that you can download to see the standard that they have got, and it is spiral model. For Agile methods, Agile process will determine the end result, and other adaptive variations related methods exist. For Agile, there are two examples of Agile methods that are Scrum and extreme programming. Analysts should understand the pros and cons of any approach before selecting a development method. We also have other development methods that can be JAD, Joint Application Development, RAD or Rapid Application Development, might counter other system development techniques as well. Some of the company they just like build up their own standard for system development method that is called as Rational Unified Process or RUP. Microsoft set up their own development methods that is called as an MSF or Microsoft Solution Framework. So for a system development guideline, the things that we have to do is that you have to develop a project plan first. When you develop the project plan, you have to involve users and listen carefully to the users as well. Don't let just like them come to join and then you just like don't listen to them. It is not okay. Next, we said that, okay, you should use project management tools to identify tasks and milestones. the proper project management tools นะครับ that I can suggest is Microsoft Project. That one is good นะครับ it is just like they provide all the things that is suitable for project management task นะครับ including helping calculate the budget นะครับ the cost for the project as well นะครับ develop accurate cost and benefit information นะครับ and the system development must be flexible enough นะครับ in case that okay some task is not finished, what should we do in order to not delay the project นะครับ okay after that I'll talk about the information technology department นะครับ you can see that okay this can be one example of the layout of the IT department นะครับ we have director นะครับ of IT นะครับ the director of IT can have just like various kind of like of department or section นะครับ in that underneath that department they may have application development system support and security นะครับ user support database admin network admin okay web support quality assurance นะครับ so it depends on the style of the company นะครับ this is just an example only after that นะครับ when we talk about system analyst this is a person นะครับ system analyst is a person who just like do the analysis task of the information system or doing this interaction design นะครับ so the responsibility for a system analyst is to translate business requirements into the IT projects so the system analyst is the one who understand both business นะครับ and technical okay and then for the knowledge skills and education นะครับ this one it needs technical knowledge นะครับ strong oral and written communication skills and analytic ability and understanding of business operations and critical thinking skills นะครับ so that means if you would like to be the system analyst or consultant นะครับ these are just like the basic qualification that you need to have ครับ and certification currently it's important credential that you need to know that okay when you have to just like be the consultant นะครับ or system analyst of some task they need you to have the to be certified ครับ so the important credential is important for example if you would like to be the consultant of SAP you need to have the SAP certified นะครับ the certification of SAP that you pass the course and then you are able to just like customize นะครับ some of just like the module in SAP already นะครับ and for the system analyst นะครับ we have career opportunity of system analysts นะครับ it depends on the job titles that you just like should have each company may have for example some company may call system analyst as consultant some company called system analyst as programmer some company call system analyst as developer depends นะครับ and also the organization of the company นะครับ is important as well because some of the company doesn't have IT department นะครับ doesn't have they may have just IT support then the system analyst in that company might not work นะครับ because they say that okay they may hire somebody outside or software house in order to develop their software and then they just like let internal people to be IT support only to solve the problem and to communicate with just like the software vendor something like that นะครับ company size นะครับ normally company size will tell us that okay that company will have system analyst position or not the culture of the corporate as well นะครับ salary location and future growth นะครับ it depends on the company ครับ but some of the people may say that they want to be just like the developer because they don't want to just like talk to the business people or for the user in order to just like translate from the requirement the business requirement into the program but if you have just like I mean like if somebody just like want to be the developer that means you may expect that okay as a developer you don't need to talk to any users the things that you do is that you may just like get the debrief session from the system analyst only, that what the customer or users want, something like that. Okay, so that is all for module or chapter number 1 So up to this point, do you have any questions, anyone? Okay, so on my screen you can see that we have 2 case studies hotels and mamas motel, and case 2, what should Lisa do what should Lisa do? The things that I want you to do okay, let's see the case study first. Actually, for each case it's not big case, it's just like a small one, but you can just like read it within just like 5 minutes. Okay, this is global hotels and mamas. Okay, next for the next case, what should Lisa do? This is short case as well. These cases are warm-up case only. Me here. You can just like finish reading it within 5 minutes. So what should what would I like you to do? I want you to form a group of 3 people. I would like you to form a group of 3 people to read and discuss about these 2 cases. To read and discuss about these 2 cases, I'll give you 15 minutes to complete reading and then discussing about these 2 cases. So finally, I want you to come up with just like the suggestion. For example, in this case, hang on, let me see case 1 first. For case number 1, I want you to just like tell us that, okay, first, should Mamas use global hotels information or continue with its own? Why or why not? Next, what additional information would be helpful to you in making recommendation in this case? This is for case, the first case. Second one, for the second case, what should Lisa do? This is talking about just like the occupation that Lisa has to make a decision. What should Lisa do and why? Which company that Lisa should choose and why? So in this one, I want you to form the team of 3 people and discuss about case 1 and case 2. So in the next 15 minutes, I want you to just like come with like a short presentation. It may be the oral presentation as well. I don't mind, because this one is just the start one, and it's just the warm-up case for you only. So I let you read. I'll let you read these 2 cases and just like come up with the answer. You may just like jot down the answer for these 2 cases for presentation. Each group you can help each other to present, or you can just like let one person to present. It's okay too. But I mean, like when it comes back to the presentation time, you just like spend couple maybe like 5 minutes per each group to identify that, okay, what do you think about these 2 cases? Before you present, just tell me that, okay, who are in your group? 3 people, please. I think it should be 3 people. Yeah, it should be just like match with numbers of the student that I have got. Actually 2 up to 3. 2 up to 3 people. So I will just like open up the breakout room for you, so that you can just like freely discuss with your group mate easily. I will just like open 12 rooms. So if you decide to have anyone to work with you, you just talk to him or talk to her that which room that you want to go and talk and discuss, because I want you to read each together and then discuss with it. Okay. Okay, let me just like have a spare room, 13 room altogether. Okay, yeah, okay. and then we meet each other in the next 15 minutes นะครับ okay so before I send you to the breakout room นะครับ do you have any questions okay you can you manage by yourself who work with whom right okay that's good ครับ okay because I think we are all CS students it shouldn't be any problems for just like talking with other people นะครับ okay so now if you don't have any questions นะครับ right now it's 13:13 นะครับ so it's 13:27 I'll call you back into the main room นะครับ okay now the rooms are open for you ครับ read 2 cases and then just like discuss for those 2 cases and come back to report them ครับ okay now the rooms are open already นะครับ everyone all right okay welcome back นะครับ everyone so can I have 3 teams to volunteer of like showing your ideas about this if no then I'll just like randomly call you okay oh hang on we have 1 volunteer Tanawin's team okay apart from Tanawin's team can I have 2 more team please if no นะครับ okay can I have Justin's team and hang on let's see Airbus team please all right okay ครับ Tanawin's team would you please tell us what do you think about like case 1 case 2
okay can you hear me
yes
okay for case 1 my team about the thank you very much
hang on let me just show this one for you yeah okay
right okay as for the first case I think as I'm sorry my speaking function is not that working today for global hotels and Mama's hotel so if I understood it correctly the global hotels franchise kind of thing is going to buy Mama's hotel motels business right so if I'm not misunderstanding anything I would say the issue would be the old pre-existing system would not really match as the motel system kind of
we think that the global hotel is very big, so they handle like multinational information, and it's the data, the size of the data is very large compared to the regional motel chain. So if the original system of Mama is already for specialized region, I think it's better to use the same information system because it's more specific for this region and
don't worry I know that it's the first time for this term
yeah maybe something about the scale is too big
and
yeah.
the target like customer is so different. So I think that maybe promoting like within the region itself or the country will be better choice for the small business to do that.
Okay yeah okay thank you so I just like want one team to present 1 case only that should be enough for the first team นะครับ thank you นะครับ so Justin team what do you think about this case as well okay Mama's Hotel and Global Hotel what do you think
Hello, can you hear me okay ครับ
yes
okay ครับ so we sort of considered like the two different systems and came to the conclusion that it might be better for Mama's Hotels to sort of stick with their current system because the system that Global Hotels uses is like, as the previous team said, like pretty big and specialized, and it's designed for large companies and hotels. And we were thinking like, if it can sort of be integrated into Global Hotel systems easily, then it might not, be worth the effort to fix what isn't broken. But again, it does like depend on some other information, like perhaps how popular the motels or the area might be, or what resources would be required to re-engineer the system, or perhaps like, as some of my teammates suggested, like whether or not Global Hotels plans to acquire more smaller, motels or like regional businesses. Because then in that case, it might make sense to develop a new information system that can sort of handle them.
Yeah.
ครับ
okay right okay ครับ thank you ครับ so what about your team ครับ Airbus what do you think
I think okay, so from what I've read, I think we should move Mama's Place. We should change it so it's the same as the Global's website. I mean, because I'm thinking that it might cause a lot of problems if the two hotels has a different system, and then whenever if the bigger if the Global Hotel wants information or wants some data from Mama's Hotel side, using the old system might not be compatible. Like to get the data from the old system and converting into the new system's data might be a bit hard. So I think changing it to the new system and matching Mama's Place with the Global Hotels would be a better idea. But then also it depends on, like Justin said, depends on how popular Mama's Hotel is. So, and how much data we're getting from Mama's as well.
all right okay thank you Abbas so thanks for every team to just like share your ideas of discussion นะครับ okay so for the case study number 2 นะครับ we will do it on the next class นะครับ I'll just like random another 3 teams in order to help just like give you some ideas of like what should Lisa do นะครับ but before we finish the class today let me just like assign 2 things for you นะครับ actually the first one I just like told you in the line group already that please register for the name of the members of your group นะครับ just one person do it is enough for each group so that I know who work with whom นะครับ because from the next assignment onward when you submit นะครับ the representative of the team will be the person who submit and then I will know that who work on that piece of task นะครับ okay so now let's see the first one I want you to do that is like quite short thing นะครับ I have a poll for you I would like to know that what kind of like the break time that we would like to have when we have the lecture class here okay so I just like launched the poll for you already everyone would you please just answer in the poll for me first choice is that we have the break at 12:50 to 1 p.m. while the other choice is that no break นะครับ no official break that means you can go to restroom break anytime you want but we finish the class earlier at 1:40 p.m. instead of 1:50 ครับ okay you just do that นะครับ I give you a couple of minutes while I'm going to share the assignment that I would like each team to do okay so for the assignment นะครับ that I want you to do is the team assignment นะครับ in this one we are going to do the team discussion number 1 นะครับ that is case study that is based on smart grids นะครับ so for this case study นะครับ I want you to discuss with your team นะครับ for group case number 1 in here นะครับ this is the what's the bus on smart grids นะครับ you just read this case นะครับ the things that I want each team to do นะครับ is that first I want you to summarize this case what is this case about นะครับ and then you just answer the case study question so that means นะครับ I want each team to just like to submit it to me as a PDF file นะครับ firstly write down that okay who just like do this task because sometimes even though you just like register for 3 people but one person might be absent and he might not want to do that one with you something like that so that I know who work with whom นะครับ please write down your name นะครับ on your work as well then you summarize this case and then answer the case study questions นะครับ so for the case study here that we have got นะครับ please submit it to me before the next class นะครับ I set the available time for this case study on today นะครับ from now until next Monday นะครับ at 1 p.m. so if you finish you just submit it to me นะครับ as a PDF file one team one submission only นะครับ one team one submission only okay then นะครับ this is what I would like you to do นะครับ as a homework นะครับ and on the next class we will begin with the discussion for Lisa's case นะครับ and then we have like the presentation for team discussion number 1 นะครับ by 3 or 4 teams that I just like I have to check on number of teams that we have got in the Google form first นะครับ and next time I will just like ask randomly to let you present it to me นะครับ okay right so up to this point do you have any questions ครับ anyone okay so if you don't have any question นะครับ let me end the poll first and then we'll see how it goes for the break time so the break time that you just like tell me นะครับ 9 of you said that you would like to have the official break at 12:50 to 1 p.m. นะครับ 30% but 70% of you นะครับ doesn't need to have the official break time but you want to have the class to finish earlier at 1:40 p.m. นะครับ so for majority vote นะครับ I just like go to the second choice but if it doesn't fit you นะครับ for example if we don't have the break and then I just like finish the class earlier but you feel uncomfortable with that just let me know so that we can adjust this นะครับ okay right okay so everyone so if you don't have any questions นะครับ we will see each other again on next Monday ครับ don't forget to do the case study and submit it to me on Canvas นะครับ before 1 p.m. on next Monday actually I have to set it up as 12 p.m. นะครับ that is noon on next Monday because I have to just like randomly call some of you to present on case study number 1 as well นะครับ okay